Hi, Indonesia. This is Rangabar Man. Check out my interview with CreativeDisc.com, the #1 music website in Indonesia.
Welcome back to another Creative Disc exclusive interview. CD lovers, Dundhee Yuwono is here as your host, and today I'm about to have an interview with the one and only Rory Charles Graham, or you know him as Rack and Boat Man. How are you, man? Hello,
Hey, brother.
Rory.
How you doing, man? I'm really good, thank you.
I'm great. I'm totally great. You look fabulous, by the way, with those glasses, man. What is happening there?
We've got a very rare day today in the UK where the sun is shining, so it doesn't
Okay.
happen very often.
Cool. So you just have to put your glasses on because it's so bright outside, right?
Yeah, it's pretty nice today. It's good.
So, dude, where are you right now? Where are you? How's everything down there?
But yeah, I'm down near Brighton in the UK. I'm just at home chilling today, so talking to you.
Ooh, cool, nice. So, Rory, I know that we are now still in the middle of a pandemic, but it is already getting better because of the vaccine and stuff right now. So, if you could go back to the normal habit eventually after this, all the pandemic is over, what is the first thing that you'd like to do the most, man?
Oh man, I think the first thing would be to be back on stage. It's
Yeah,
something that I've really missed, and I really I felt quite a lot of sadness about the whole thing and not being able to be on stage and play music anymore.
mhm.
I really that would be the first thing I would do. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and I do believe all of the artists really crave for that moment. How they what is it like connect to the people, connect to the fans throughout the states. Is that the way you feel also? Whenever you go on stage, you can feel connected to the people.
Yeah, I think that's honestly what I miss the most is the connection by looking somebody in the eyes and in the crowd, and knowing
Yeah,
that that somehow your music does something for them, and
yeah, yeah.
and whether it be emotionally or just in the moment. But yeah, it's a really beautiful thing, the connection between the artist and an audience.
Mm-hmm. That's so true. But is there any like what is it like interesting thing that happened in this on the stage? Is there any like weird moment or probably like the funny moment that happened to your set?
I think I think sometimes I don't expect that I'm going to get emotional when I sing, and then there's a certain song sometimes that I'd sing. Like, I remember singing Skin in Paris,
Right.
and I looked out into the audience, and there's a young girl in the front row, and she was crying like while I'm singing it, and then
Right.
it made me cry in turn, and I'm like this big guy on stage like crying
Yeah.
when I'm singing. So things like that just take you by surprise, because
Yeah, I know.
sometimes you just don't know how it's going to make you feel.
Yeah, yeah, that is so true. By the way, I love that song as well because you
Thank
put
you.
so great message in it, and
Thank
I love that song so much. So, man, before we talk about your recent release, I'd like to step back to the first time you decided to focus on music.
you.
When was it, and why did you chose music in the first place, man?
I think it was probably 15 years ago,
Okay.
maybe a little longer. I think I was about 18, and I decided one night that I would sing with this band. We used to have like a jam session at this pub, and people would go up and sing a song and take their turn to sing. And I decided, because I had a little whiskey, that I got brave, and that, that I would go and sing. And then suddenly everybody just came up to me afterwards, one after another, and they were like, "Yo, your voice is crazy," and it just,
Yeah,
people had this admiration for me, and I was like, I really like this feeling of being on stage, and people really digging it. So I was like, in that moment, I was like, this is for me now.
yeah, yeah. Because the thing that I love about your voice is it's the characteristic you that you had in your voice. your bariton voice is like what is it called? I mean, I never met a singer that have a voice like as deep as you are right now, if I'm not mistaken. So the thing that I love also about your music is like you put so many great message in it, complete with your bariton sound, bariton voice. It's complete each other and it makes the song perfect. I must say that.
Thank you so much, man.
So, Rory, speaking about your latest release now, Fall in Love Again. It's the second single for your upcoming album called Life by Misadventures, right?
Yeah,
But tell us more about the single. I mean, I love it already, Fall in Love Again. I heard it over and over again right now. But
yeah.
tell us more about the single. How's the inspiration about the song?
So like the day we wrote this song, we went to the studio and we kind of had a bad day. Like it didn't work out. Some days the inspiration is not there, and the people that we're working with, it didn't quite work. And we kind of went home back to our house in Nashville, and we're like, kind of the feeling of being deflated. Like we haven't done anything today. We didn't achieve anything. So we just sat down and drank some wine and just had a talk about stuff, and in turn just picked up the guitar and decided to write this song. And it was very much a reflection of how I was feeling at the time, and it's about it's kind of a relationship song about not wanting to give too much of yourself away, and like
Yeah.
and let's stop this now before it goes any further. It's like a sabotage your own relationship because
Right,
you
right,
you don't want it to become anything else, you know.
right,
So
right.
it's kind of cool. This song was written after another session, but it turned out really well, I think, and it's one of my favorite songs on the album.
Wow, that's cool. Because the unique thing about that song is the title of the song. It's "Fall in Love Again." But when you heard the lyric, you told me that you told us that you don't want to change as your previous tell us about the meaning of the music. It's kind of unique though. So let's move on to the first single of the album
Mhm.
that you released also a couple of months back. All You Ever Wanted, dude, that sound so different with the previous release of yours. I mean, it's so rock and roll ish. I must say, like, why did you choose that type of changes in your music now?
I think, I mean, this song, the song in particular, I wrote on the guitar, and I wrote it with the guitar riff
Right, right.
in the song already, and I've just felt like being brave, really. And I think sometimes like it's easy to fall back and just try to recreate something you've done before, but
Mm,
I love guitar music, and I love more up tempo songs. So this for me was like, if we're gonna come back, let's come back with something that is gonna surprise people, and that it isn't like the norm, you know, it isn't normal like for
yes,
me.
yes. But can you say though, this rock and roll theme that you had with the first single will be like also become the base of the new album. The album is more rock and roll side of the Rag
Yeah,
and Bone Man, or
I think if you listen to the album as a whole, it'll make sense to you eventually, because the first part of the album is very chilled out and slower, but then it builds, and towards the end of the record is it becomes much faster pace and a really bigger sound. So it may not make sense to people initially, but if they listen to the album, it will make sense in the end.
all right, all right, all right. I get it now. So so if I say that how many percent of the album is already finished? Because I know that you're gonna release this album on next 23rd of April, if I'm not mistaken, right?
I
So
think it's
how first?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry. I think it's actually the this. I think it's in May now. I think the 20. I think it's on the 7th of May. I may be wrong, but I think it's the 7th of May.
Mhm. So what is the thing that you excited the most about the release of this album?
I'm really excited about people hearing it as a whole record. I know it's difficult these days because the way that people consume music is different.
Yeah.
And people tend to just listen to like one song and then skip the song, but there are still people out there that will listen to the whole record, and I really hope that people get it as a whole story, you know. I'm looking forward to getting some reaction from that.
And I'm looking forward to hear the album like as the whole, as you say,
Yeah.
because I can't wait to what is like dancing around with the half part of the album and
Yeah.
just cry myself out in the part of the album as well.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, that's the feeling that I'm gonna get whenever I heard your song. So when I know that you already like plan announce your tour in UK and Ireland already, but what is the plan for Rack and Bone Man for 2021?
The plan is, I think for me, like I'm going to concentrate on making this live tour the best it can be. Really,
Yes.
like I want to make it musically really wonderful, and I want to make it look wonderful, and feel like the people that come to the shows have come to see this album experience. So not only musically, but art and the way it looks as well. So I think it's going to take a while and a lot of rehearsing and talking to my art director Fiona and making sure that it looks great. But I just can't wait for that, man. I really can't wait.
Yeah, and I hope this pandemic is finally finished and finally is over, and you can like put this tour around the world, around the globe, and finally you can meet your Indonesian fans here.
Me too, man. I hope so much.
So my last question to wrap up this interview, is there like any
Right.
message to your Indonesian fan who happen to watch this interview or listening to the podcast, man?
Well, I've never been before, but I hope to come soon and meet everybody that is a fan of my music. And thank you so much for all the support that you show me and the love. And I really hope to see you soon.
Great. Thank you so much, Rory, for your time. It's been a pleasure of mine to talk to you, and I hope we'll see in person someday. And we're gonna catching up a bit about your music, your life, and stuff. Thank you so much for your time, man.
All right, take care, man.